First NBC Bank Prep Showcase. It's Holy Cross St. Thomas Aquinas, Pat Kennelly Diamond at Alumni Field here on the campus of Southeastern Louisiana University. Ken Trahan along with Danny Ream. Glad you could join us. Here is the batting order for the Holy Cross Tigers presented by First NBC Bank. Kyle Scheck-Snyder leads it off and plays first base. Cole Nalesnik is the catcher. Grant Schultz, the shortstop. Matt Muleisen at second base. Trey Turner, two-sport star in center field. Chris Collette is the left fielder. Kyle Clayton, the third baseman. Mickey Toscano does the pitching, and Ian Burris is in right field. Against the right-handed offerings of Hunter Stanley, who takes to the mound, the senior. Right-handed pitcher has been outstanding early on this season, Danny.
Yeah, he's got a impressive record coming into this one. He's thrown 9 2/3 innings, appeared in 5 games. He's got a 0 ERA, so that says a lot about this young man. Only giving up 2 hits, 14 strikeouts in 9 2/3. That's really impressive.
Other than that, he hasn't done anything, so he's really good. St. Thomas Aquinas really good. State quarterfinal team a year ago in 2A, and they were really good, beating Oakdale and Springfield. Lost to Kinder 7-4 in the quarterfinals a year ago as the 5th seed with a lot of players back, high expectations, and they are more than living up to those early on this season. It is time now for our weather, and in Hammond, America is the case here in southeastern Louisiana. Partly cloudy skies, temperature 73, and the big factor is the wind. It is a major factor, Danny, blowing out and slightly across the left field at 15 miles an hour as the Tiger dugout looking on with their road grays. Here today, we're ready to roll. Kyle Scheck-Snyder getting it started for Holy Cross. First pitch of the game is in there. We're underway. And Scheck-Snyder at 308 on the year. He's driven in 3 runs. Right-handed swinger, the 0-1. Threw it by him. Fastball.
Good fastball there. Just pounding the zone with it here to open things up.
0-2. And 3-pitch strikeout. Scheck-Snyder gone for out number 1.
Great command of the fastball. That's key. If you can throw the fastball for a strike, throw strike 1, it dictates what can come from there. Really nice start to the game for Hunter Stanley.
Here's Cole Nalesnik, the left-handed swinger, and 4 straight strikes from Stanley to get things started. Nalesnik in from the left side at 333, 8 driven in. Wisely stepped out to try to slow him down. Stanley's working very quickly outside the ball. So good move by Nalesnik. Get out of there. Trying to break that rhythm a bit because this young man is ready and firing again. Right by him, boy. So far, throwing it by these hitters, it's 0-2 with Schultz on deck. One, 2. And again, just threw it right by him. Just overpowering these hitters thus far.
We've seen nothing but fastballs, but that's all he's had to throw. I mean, what great command. He's got a little something on it, and he obviously likes that fastball. We haven't seen any other pitch to the first 2 hitters, but as we mentioned, didn't need anything else.
Grant Schultz got a piece of one. That's the first batted ball we've seen. It's 0-1.
If you're a Holy Cross Tiger, you know, you'd like to try to get deep in a count, make him throw some different pitches and see what he's got.
Fastball up in the zone, and quickly Stanley ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. You mentioned the St. Thomas Aquinas earned run average at 1.40 coming in. And again, they faced good competition. Wants to elevate the fastball here. He does too much, and it's a ball and 2 strikes.
Maybe we'll see our first wrinkle right here.
And left it up, and it's hit to left center field, and well. This ball's traveling. This ball's off the wall. On his way to second is Schultz with a ringing 2-out double. Left that one up, hung it a bit, and Schultz hammers it to left center. That's what the Holy Cross wanted to do, is get him off of the fastball.
First off-speed pitch of the night. He hangs that curveball right out over Main Street, and he gets all of it. This ball driven well deep into the gap here at Southeastern. So Holy Cross with a man in scoring position. See if they can get a big 2-out hit here early on.
Matt Muleisen will bat. Muleisen, the second bagger at 321 with a home run already and 5 driven in. And ahead in the count, 1 ball and no strikes. Good look at Matt. Lights on to start the ball game here. Muleisen, a senior now, returning starter from a year ago, and a good one. Stepped out.
Great job by Grant Schultz right there. You know, you got that breaking ball just hanging out over the plate. That's exactly what you like to see a hitter do. Hang 'em, bang 'em.
And a strike is called on Muleisen. 1-1 the count. Good look at Stanley. Only way to describe those uniform tops are the old Astros look. And a good breaking ball there. Had him well out in front.
Much better looking off-speed pitch than we saw to Schultz there. So maybe he found the feel for it here against Muleisen.
Pretty deep from Muleisen all around as the St. Thomas Aquinas outfield. 1-2 the count. Center fielder shifts over toward right center just a tad and threw it by him. Struck out the side with a double mixed in. So it's on to the bottom of the first. Holy Cross nothing, and St. Thomas Aquinas coming to bat. So Stanley, 3 strikeouts in the inning. This was the final one to escape. And again, the fastball, which is truly his pitch in the first inning, got all 3 strikeouts with the heater. And it's on to the bottom of the first inning. And here's the batting order for the St. Thomas Aquinas Falcons, presented by First NBC Bank. Reed Bolton is the center fielder. Kyle King in left field. Champ Artigues at shortstop with Hunter Stanley cleaning up. Donnie Roberts, the DH. Ryan Emerson is the catcher. Brett Bass in first base. Michael Dixon at third base. And Alex Egan is the second baseman. Jacob Becerra plays right field, does not hit in the lineup for Coach Merritt Morgan. And a look at the pitcher employed by Cass Artis. It's going to be Mickey Toscano for the Tigers. The numbers on Mickey. And tell us a little bit about Toscano, Danny.
Well, it seems like Toscano has been playing for Holy Cross for a long time now. A bunch of brothers have come through the program there. Great kids. But he's a guy that Coach Cass Artis wants to see throw a lot of strikes tonight. He's going to try to throw a few different pitchers here at Southeastern in this midweek game. But he wants these guys to focus on throwing strikes, challenging these St. Thomas hitters, give their guys a chance to play defense.
Ready to roll here in the bottom of the first inning. And the Falcons will get it rolling with Reed Bolton. The center fielder at .433, no home runs, 4 RBI on the season for Bolton. Toscano, primarily fastball, curveball pitcher, and throws the heater in there and gets ahead of Bolton. Well, we mentioned the St. Thomas Aquinas pitching. Well, their offense, as alluded to, has been even better. Both offenses very good on the year. This is driven right side out of play. And quickly ahead on the count is Toscano, 0-2. Falcons at a cool .350 at the plate. Holy Cross hitting .319, as mentioned. Both teams really proficient offensively. 0-2 the count. Toscano brings another. Dipping down, 1-2. And the 1-2. Waved at one that goes back to the screen. Karen's back to the catcher, and he throws high and safe at first. So a strikeout, but Bolton reaches on the wild pitch.
Well, Bolton chased the breaking ball out of the zone, but he went after it. A good break there if you're a St. Thomas Aquinas fan, because he's able to reach despite chasing that breaker that was significantly out of the zone.
Looked like Nolesnik didn't quite have his balance when you delivered it. You watch that one carefully, and it sailed on him. And now Kyle King, the left fielder. Closed stance, shows bunt, bunts it nicely. Nobody there. He'll beat it out. Second baseman responsibility to get over and cover, and he didn't do it. With the first baseman obviously having to come. And that goes as a bunt single for King. And here's St. Thomas Aquinas with something brewing.
Caught him sleeping right there. Regular bunt coverage, corners charging, second baseman covering first. Really good job of executing. by St. Thomas Aquinas, getting that ball down the first base side to advance that runner from first to second, right where you want to put it.
Champ Artigues bats now, the sophomore talented left-handed swinger with 7 driven in. 2 on, nobody out. And he bunts it foul. So Coach Barrett Morgan playing the bunt game early on.
Not a bad idea. Third baseman for Holy Cross is back a good ways. A drag down the third baseline would have been trouble, especially with Champ getting out of the box from the left side. Not a bad idea at all. He's probably going to go to hitting now.
0-1 the count. St. Thomas Aquinas basically down the block here from southeastern Louisiana. Champ knows this place pretty well. He should. Stretch pitch, gonna bunt, and he pushed it foul. So 0-2. I say that because his father has a little bit to do here with athletics at southeastern Louisiana, doesn't he?
J.R. Teagues, former head baseball coach, now athletic director here in Hammond.
No balls, 2 strikes. Got to believe he's swinging now. Bolton second and King first as peer over at the St. Thomas Aquinas dugout in Brain Trust. No throw on a bluff by Toscano. Got a strikeout wild pitch, allowed Bolton to reach, and then King with a bunt single.
This is what we talked about earlier. The St. Thomas bunch, they play really intense. They're aggressive. I mean, they're coming at you right now, bottom of the first inning. They're bunting guys, moving guys around, playing the game hard.
This is toward the second baseman and backpedaling to make the catch is Muleisen for out number 1. So could not get the runners advanced. And that keeps the double play in order. A chance to get out of this for Toscano as Hunter Stanley will stride to the plate.
Now brings to the plate number 2, the pitcher, Hunter Stanley.
Stanley, the definitive two-way player, because he's not just an outstanding pitcher, but he's a really good hitter. The numbers on St. Thomas Aquinas, they have just crushed their opponents, 69-17. We alluded to the average and earned run average, and they've held 7 of 9 opponents to 1 run or less. You're not going to lose that way.
Very impressive. Definitely one of the teams to watch in Class 2A.
Good pass at that pitch back to the screen by Stanley. As mentioned, definitive two-way player. The numbers indicative of that. 481 with 7 driven in. 330 down the lines here at Alumni Field. It's 370 to the gaps, 400 to straightaway center. Oh, 1. Just off the outside edge. Nalesnik tried to frame it.
Well, if you Mickey Toscano right here, you'd like to see if you can roll a ground ball in your infield. Try to get out of this jam. You got that out from Artigues not being able to get the bunt down. You get a ground ball here. Try to get yourself off the diamond.
Toscano with the stretch and a check and time called.
St. Thomas with runners at first and second. First one reaching because of the third strike that got away from the catcher. And the second one,
just a couple of mistakes basically by Holy Cross. The pitch, that's a strike at the knees. Quality pitch from Toscano to make it 1-2. One ball and 2 strikes. From the belt to the plate. That's the definition of freezing a runner there. He held that stretch position for an elongated period of time, didn't he?
He did, and that's something that you've got to do as a pitcher. You've got to mix things up, especially with that runner on second base. They're trying to get time, and they're trying to see if you're a 1-looker or a 2-looker, if you do the same thing over and over so they can try to get a good read and possibly swipe third base. If you can get yourself going and do a good job of reading the pitcher and seeing what his tendencies are, sometimes third base is the easiest base to steal.
Holding it 1 ball and 2 strikes on Stanley. Foul tip into the mid. Nalesnik to first. They've got him. Double play. What a job by the Tigers. Nalesnik atones for the earlier throw with a beautiful throw to first to nail Scheck-Snyder. Inning over on the double play with no runs and a hit. One runner stranded after one as we watch the throw by Nalesnik. We're scoreless heading to the second on the first NBC Bank Rep Showcase. Is presented by Joseph A. Bank, the new tradition since 1905, with locations downtown, in Metairie, and in Mandeville. Joseph A. Bank. And a strike is called. Stanley immediately pumps one through there to Trey Turner to start the top of the second. Collette and Clayton to follow. That was his 16th pitch of the game. Turner took the curveball away. 1-1. Trey Turner is a terrific baseball player. Leads this team in hitting at .480. No homers, 8 RBIs. Arizona State football signing, but Danny, he may play baseball, and he should. He's really good. This is fouled out of play.
Real good player that we've had the pleasure of watching for a few years now in the Holy Cross Tiger uniform, and he just does a great job out in center field. Outstanding offensive threat, as you mentioned, hitting .480 to lead the club right now.
Away, and it's 2-2 on Trey Turner.
And if he gets on base, hold on, because he can swipe some bags.
Holy Cross runs as well as anybody. 2-2. And now it's full 3-2. Tigers have run wild early in the season. 29 stolen bases in 9 games. Payoff. Fouled it back. Good at bat by Turner. Quick bat, quick enough hands to get that bat through the zone. Won't be as easy to beat him with the fastball up. Stanley's payoff. Up the middle, shortstop. Nice job to range and get it. And a good throw gets him by a step. Artigues makes a good play. Had to get rid of it quickly with Turner running. And he beat it. He's safe. Safe at first base again. Turner's speed beats the wrap. Let's watch again. That was close.
Hit it on the ground and run, because Trey Turner can definitely do that. Nice range up the middle by Champ Artigues. Gets the throw up. But look at Turner motoring down the baseline, and he did beat it. Good call by the umpire. Absolutely.
Excellent call. Base hit for Turner, and speed aboard, and watch out now. There's the throw over right away. Anderson could get tested quickly in this game. Trey Turner represents the best speed of all for Holy Cross, as Danny alluded to, and they sure do have good speed on their team. Quick pitched him here, didn't he? That was almost a balk. Got to pause in the stretch, don't you?
You got to pause, and that's something that, between innings, as a coach, you might quietly point out to the umpires, just to keep their eye on. You might get a ball call later in the game.
Turner's 8 for 8. There's another one where before he came set, he wheeled and dealt. So they've got something quick to deal with Turner, who's 8 for 8 in stolen bases. And there it is again, and they got him out at first base, and this will be argued by Holy Cross. What a quick move by Stanley to take care of Turner for out number 1. That's how you stop a running game.
You don't see that every day, but that's an extremely good move there by Hunter Stanley. You're not going to see Trey Turner get picked off by a right-handed pitcher very often.
No. 1-0. Now 2-0 to Chris Collette. As mentioned, he's a really good hitter in his own right at .423 with 7 driven in. The sophomore fouls it. And it's 2-1.
And Collette's a nice young player in the Holy Cross program. Got a chance to play early. only a sophomore, hitting .423, 7 RBI on the year. So he's going to be a good one for years to come.
Hyatt's 3-1. I know this is baseball and it's off subject, but I just have to laugh. I'm reading a Les Miles quote from spring practice. We're headed towards the opportunity to throw the football better. Here's ball 4.
He's got his own language, man.
What does that
yes,
mean?
sir. Yes, sir. We understand.
We're headed towards the opportunity. Goodness gracious. A walk to Collette. Kyle Clayton will bat, third baseman, to stand in. Here's a pitch high for ball 1. Yeah, we really are, in fact, heading toward and now realizing the opportunity for the pitcher, Stanley, to pitch from the stretch. Let's throw to first.
I just love listening to him talk. I just sit back and kick my feet up, and I'll listen to him talk all day.
Here's a pitch high. It's 2-0. I guess he would say about Stanley that he has a real want and desire to try to get an out here.
See if Hunter Stanley's got the chest to get out of this little spot.
2 balls and a strike. I mean, I don't know. You can only laugh. It's funny. 2 balls and a strike. Sometimes you wonder if he's pulling a Yogi on us.
Milesisms.
Yes. Throw to first, Collette back, and this young man, Stanley, will be very tough to run on.
Tough to run on, absolutely. And when he does go to the plate, he gets rid of it very quickly.
And for a team like Holy Cross that relies so much on the running game, that's a big item. 2 balls and a strike, 1 on, 1 out, and a big lead. There he goes. Hop foul right side. And this is out of play.
Well, Cass Hargis has already said from an offensive standpoint at Holy Cross this year, he wants to push the issue. He wants to make things happen. He wants to, I think he was quoted as saying, play fast. You'll hear that in no huddle offense, maybe in football, and it's something to think about in baseball. What do you mean playing fast? Well, that's getting guys on, putting guys in motion, laying bunts down, getting hits where you can go first to third. That's playing fast in baseball, and that's what Holy Cross wants to do this year.
Plate number 12.
Swing and a miss is the 4th strikeout already for Stanley in the 2nd out, and Mickey Toscano will bat. Toscano at .345, 8 driven in for the two-way player. So a couple of pitchers who are both very good hitters doing battle tonight. This is driven to left. The wind works on it. Left fielder is there with room, and making the catch is King for the out. So Toscano made a bid, but flies to pretty deep left. No runs in the hit, 1 stranded. Holy Cross is left 2. Bottom of the 2nd. No score from Southeastern. Time now for Traditions, presented by Joseph A. Bank, the new tradition since 1905. Holy Cross coach Cass Hargis not only coached at St. Thomas Aquinas, but he played collegiately here at Southeastern, where he ended his career in 2010 as the Lions' career leader in hits, runs scored, and games played. Freshman All-American, he was some player, the all-time hit king in Southeastern Louisiana history. That says a lot. Very pleasant young man. I did games of his when he played football at Holy Cross. It's great to see a young man mature, and now he's back home at his alma mater. And when you think about Holy Cross baseball, Danny, I mean, it's been a short list of coaches. Luke Arboni, Greg Battistella, and now Cass Hargis. I mean, that's covered a long span in this team's historic showing in this particular sport.
A lot of good young coaches starting to make their way into the Catholic League lately. You got Nick Monaco over at Rummel. He's doing a great job. Cass, who's got this Holy Cross team playing well in his first year. So starting to see some new blood in the head coaches throughout the Catholic League.
No balls and a strike and another. That missed away. So the count is equal at 1-1 as we see Donnie Roberts at the plate. Missing away. 2 balls and a strike. The 2-1. This is towards left field and a base hit. Donnie Roberts, a ball with a leadoff single here in the second. The second hit for St. Thomas Aquinas.
Good job of hitting there. That pitch was away from him. He goes with it between the 5-6 hole, if you will, out in the left. Always good to get that leadoff man on.
Ryan Anderson to the plate. No relation to the Pelicans forward, which I'm sure he's heard a lot. He's making his own name for himself, though. 458. And a team high 12 RBI and a line drive and a left. That's a base hit. So the Falcons, with 2 consecutive hits to left, have something going. Second straight inning, they've had the first 2 aboard. And with nobody out, Brett Bass will have an opportunity.
Not wasting any time. I like the way this St. Thomas Aquinas team takes it to you. They're ready to go. And that's back-to-back young men reaching base and putting them in a very advantageous position here in the bottom of the second.
Now batting number 16.
Let's see how they play it with Bass taking a long look before stepping in. Bass at 345 with 9 driven in. Right-handed hitter. Lesnick the sign. Toscano a long look in. Runners with their leads. And the bunt is pushed toward first, and that will kick foul. No balls in the strike. Now the field is well manicured. The grass is kind of thick on that infield, Annie. It's not the fastest infield. And we bring you games from Kirsch Rooney Stadium, for instance, occasionally from Maestri Field at First NBC Ballpark, and those are fast infields.
Yeah, that grass, when we went down there earlier to speak with the coaching staffs, it's pretty thick. So if you're an infielder, you need to come get the baseball. It's going to slow it down a little bit.
On 0-1, will Bass bunt again? He will. Took it in the dirt, and Lesnick got a piece of it, so runner at second, the lead runner, did not read it initially, so he held his ground, and it's 1-1.
Well, this St. Thomas team offensively, you can tell they like to keep the pressure on you. You can't take a pitch off against this team because they'll get you.
1 ball and 1 strike. And Toscano bluffs a throw to second. Infielders are playing over toward the hole, respectively, at short and second. Ready for a rotation play, perhaps, and thus leaving second uncovered. Now the shortstop changes direction. Schultz is trying to cheat over there, and the bunt is on. This is a beautiful bunt. Toscano 1 play to first, and the sacrifice works. Dead net ball beautifully. Second and third, 1 out. That's how you get it done.
Nice job there by Brett Bass of execution. You see so many high school baseball teams trying to move runners over via the sacrifice bunt, and they can't get it down. End up striking out, popping up, not getting the job done. That's a really good job of staying after it, finding a pitcher you can handle, getting that bunt down, move those runners into scoring position with 1 out.
Michael Dixon, the third baseman, with an opportunity to give St. Thomas Aquinas the lead. In the air, right side, right fielder on the come. Burris dives, can't get it. That's a hit. A run will score. To throw to second is in time for the out. So the put out at second base as Burris stayed with it and was able to get an out as he got it to the shortstop Schultz, and it's 1-0 St. Thomas Aquinas.
Gets it out to the outfield. That's what you're trying to do there with a man on third, less than 2 outs, trying to hit that fly ball and score the run. They're able to throw him out, though, at second, trying to get there, running hard, but might have done better just hanging out around first base and being glad that that one fell in.
Yeah, it kind of short circuits the inning. It's the second out with a runner at third and 2 outs, and Alex Egan will bat The second baseman at 154. Good swing, fouls it back. Driven in a run.
They take their hacks. I mean, you can see Egan right there ready to go first pitch. He's hacking away. I like the way the St. Thomas Aquinas team plays offensive baseball.
0-1. Good breaking ball. Froze him, and it's 0-2.
If you're Holy Cross, you want to try to strand that runner down there at third base. It's okay if you give up one. Just want to stay away from your opponent scoring multiple runs in a frame.
Threw the fastball by him and limits the damage. A run on the inning on 3 hits and a runner stranded. They left 2, and after 2, the Falcons lead the Tigers 1-0 on the first NBC Bank Prep Showcase. Realtors, dedicated to going the extra mile to help you make the most of your real estate experience. Call 504-875-3555 or visit NOLAHomeFinder.com. First pitch to start the top of the third is way high to Tim Burris, 1-0 from Stanley. Burris, then the top of the order for Holy Cross here in the third. Strike called, it's 1-1. 35 pitches now for Stanley. He's walked 1, he's fanned 4. And a ball makes it 2 balls and a strike. Now the 2-1. Chipped into the mid, 2-2. Changed speeds on him, got him out in front. Stanley, a very quick worker. Burris, a junior, waits for the 2-2. Late on it, but fouled it back. Almost got a light standard, holding 2-2.
Trying to get something started here. St. Thomas scoring in the bottom of the second. If you're Holy Cross, you'd like to answer here in the top of the third.
Again, fouls it, same place, near the light standard once more. Holding 2-2. Burris making Stanley work. We'll see his 7th pitch of the at-bat. Another. Oh, quality pitch, just low, I guess. And it's full 3-2. Really good off-speed pitch.
Don't know where that one was at. That looked pretty good to me.
Stanley with a payoff to Burris. Got him anyway. 1 gone. Strikeout number 5 for Hunter Stanley. That shows you how composed he is, unfazed. Some pitchers get rattled when they don't get the call. Not this young man.
Nope. Came right back with another quality pitch. Put Burris away and get that first out.
Kyle Schexnayder struck out looking to start the game. Tried to bunt this one. This pitch is way up, and self-defense bunt, and it's 0-1.
Yeah, that's a pitch you really need to pull back on there. When you're bunting for a hit, you know, you've got to get the right pitch in the right spot so that you can use that bat angle to put it where you want.
Strike called, and quickly 0-2.
When you're trying to bunt for a hit, you'd like it to be either a base hit or a foul ball. Something up in the zone like that is not a really good pitch to try to drag on.
Pitch away, 1-2. And the 1-2. Just missed the outside edge. Good take by Schexnayder. It's 2-2. Not much he could have done with that. Quickly, the 2-2 pitch. Threw the fastball by him. Got him. Second out and the 6th strikeout in 10 batters faced for Hunter Stanley.
He had 14 and 9 2/3 coming into this game, but this has been pretty impressive the way that he can just take his fastball and just throw it by a guy.
Cole Nalesnik pops it back and out of play. It's 0-1. Nalesnik struck out his first time. Look at Stanley just standing on the rubber waiting. He's
ready to go when you are.
Tigers wisely are starting to try to slow him down. You really need to do that. Get him out of his comfort zone if possible. Good off-speed pitch. And quickly ahead 0-2. Has command, doesn't he?
Absolutely. I'm really impressed with this young man on the mound here tonight for St. Thomas Aquinas.
0-2. Outside the ball, 1-2. I mean, I'm trying to rustle up a comparison as we're so apt to do here. I'm thinking Emerson Gibbs. Here's the 1-2. Got him looking. Quality pitch in that he has great command and he works quickly and pitches very confidently. Nothing across. Struck out the side for the second time. 7 strikeouts for Stanley. 1-0 St. Thomas Aquinas heading to the bottom of the third. Back to the game is brought to you by Delary Camarda Realtors. Holy Cross and St. Thomas Aquinas were founded 137 years apart. Holy Cross in Danny's freshman year of high school in 1849, and St. Thomas Aquinas and Lenny Van Gilder's, in 1986. Here's a hard hit ball right side. Second baseman there realizes and throws him out. Ground number 1. I had cause for pause there because Lenny actually preceded 1986, graduating from high school, but I'm not telling you when 1983. One gone. Mr. Subliminal, right? Here's Kyle King. Singled his first time. So 1 pitch and 1 out here for Toscano in the third. King with the bunt single in the first. Closed stance. You don't see a whole lot of that anymore in baseball. Danny, talk about that as a coach and as an observer. Why we don't see closed stances like this anymore.
Well, the biggest thing that you have to watch if you're going to be closed is if you stride and close off even more and actually jam yourself. So you want to make sure that if you are comfortable starting with a closed stance, that when you stride, you're striding straight ahead and not closing off even more. It's really going to lock up your hips and not allow you to really get that backside through.
He doesn't really open up either with that step, so the count goes to 2-1. Bottom line is if you're going to hit out of this stance, 2 things. You better have quick hands, and you're going to see a lot of balls where you stay inside the ball and go the other way. Swing and a miss. That's all he would have been able to do with that anyway, 2-2. Coaches don't really teach closed stances anymore by and large, do they?
Yeah, I mean, it's a comfort thing. I mean, it's not the end of the world if a guy's comfortable with it, but you just got to make sure, as we mentioned, that you do certain things the right way, or that can really, cut down your ability to hit the baseball with power.
King unable to catch up to it as Toscano fans him for out number 2. And that is strikeout number 4 for Toscano. And here's Champ Artigues, who popped to second in the first. And he got hit in the backside. He's on at first. So 2 outs and a base runner for the Falcons.
That's something you really want to try to stay away from. When you get to 2 outs and nobody on, you want to end the inning, slam the door, and get back in the dugout. He plunked Artigues In a good spot, though. I don't think that one hurt as bad as it could have. Had a little cushion there where he got popped. But, 2 outs, nobody on as a pitcher. You want to come in there and slam that door shut. Don't give them life when they don't have any.
Hunter Stanley hits it hard towards second. Knocked down nicely. Muleisen with time. Guns him down. And the inning is over. No runs. And a runner stranded there third. And after 3, 1-0 St. Thomas Aquinas on the first NBC Bank Prep Showcase. This portion of the first NBC Bank Prep Showcase is presented by Gibbs Construction, a leader in the construction industry in Louisiana and the Gulf Coast for 35 years. Transforming dreams, visions, and plans into reality. Gibbs Construction. 1-0 St. Thomas Aquinas as we start the top of the fourth, and a breaking ball to Grant Schultz is low. He hammered a hook to the wall in left center for a double in the first inning. One of the 2 Holy Cross hits, but he was stranded. The 1-0 from Stanley. Fastball, and he hits this one well to center field. Center fielder on his horse will be there, though. And making the catch is Bolton for out number 1. Won't get any help on the balls hit in that direction. Schultz a good chunk, though. He's gone for the first out of the inning on what was the 59th pitch of the game. I'll make it the 52nd pitch of the game for Stanley. And Matt Muleisen will bat. He struck out swinging in the first. Swing and a miss. Aggressive swing there, 0-1 to Muleisen.
And as soon as he steps back in the box, Hunter Stanley's ready to go.
Yeah, he's time. Just a smart move. Again, they've got to try to break his rhythm. Even when you step out, as soon as you step in, he's trying to throw. So you've got to be ready. Breaker low, 1-1. And now you can hold your backhand up and tell the home plate umpire, wait, let me get settled in once you stride back in. 1-1 the count. Another on the way. 2-1.
This is a heck of an arm to be facing in a midweek game.
To it by him. Aggressive swing by Muleisen, but it's 2-2. Two. And now full 3-2. Turner on deck.
Well, these are the Holy Cross Tigers' best guys right here, so this is the meat of their order.
Straight up in the air. It's going to come down on the infield. Who wants it? The shortstop says he'll take it. And there is Artigues for the catch. And 2 gone here in the fourth. Stanley disposing of Schultz and Muleisen, and now deals with Trey Turner. Beat out an infield single his first time, but then got picked off. Open stance right side. Pitch. Strike call. Now this is the antithesis of the close stance we saw earlier. Turner with the more conventional approach that we see from most hitters these days. With his open stance, it's high 1-1. But if you're going to be open, the opposite holds true. You've got to close up when the pitch is on the way, right?
Right. You want to close up a little bit. You don't want to stay open.
In the air, right side, slicing foul, first baseman over with a play. Putting it away is Bass, in a quick 1-2-3 inning for Stanley, who's now set down 8 in a row. Bottom of the fourth coming, 1-0 Falcons on the first NBC Bank Prep Showcase on WHNO TV 20. interested in purchasing a DVD copy of today's game, send an email to prep@sportsnola.com or call our offices at 504-681-0120 during normal business hours. You will receive a reply with more information on purchasing DVDs. Kenny Roberts takes one in the dirt from Toscano. He singled and scored the only run in the second inning. And a 1-0 count on what was only the 34th pitch of the game for Toscano, who's been very economical and gets a visit from Nalesnik, who might have been crossed up there, looking at his reaction.
Yeah, I think if you're Cass Harges, you've got to be pretty satisfied with what you've seen on the mound tonight from Mickey. He's done a nice job up there. He's got you right in this ball game here about midway through.
1-0. And 1-1. Good off-speed pitch is through. Equals the count. Outfield is shallow for Roberts. Towards short. Schultz gobbles it up. Good arm to gun him down. That's a shortstop arm there. First out here in the fourth. And Ryan Anderson up next. For all the latest news on high school, college, and pro sports in Louisiana, be sure to visit SportsNola.com. SportsNola features a team of area writers offering unique opinions. Plus, catch our first NBC video updates. It's all at SportsNola.com. Ryan Anderson, who singled his first time, takes a ball. He singled on a line drive to left. And on 1-0, taps this one foul. Another off-speed pitch.
First thing I do every morning, I wake up, go get a cup of coffee, the iPad, and SportsNola.com.
And nobody
the way to go.
paid you to say that. This is in the dirt. It's 2-1. Full disclosure, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you.
Every morning.
Very kind.
Coffee and SportsNola.
2 balls and a strike. It's a winning combination. Here it comes. 3-1. So Anderson ahead in the count. Both of these pitchers have worked ahead and have had great command. We haven't seen many pitching behind in the count in this game. But here's a walk. So with one gone, Anderson is on for the second time in the game, and that is walk number 1 issued by Toscano, who hit a batter earlier, and now must deal with Brett Bass with the runner aboard. Well, the difference here is that, and we'll get a courtesy runner at first base, and that will be number 8, who is Brandon Tallow. So Brandon Tallow runs at first. Brett Bass will bat.
Bass with a nice sack bunt in his first appearance at the plate. Should be swinging it right here since there's already one out in the inning.
Took it away. He was swinging 1-0. Interesting. This is another hitter that hits out of a closed stance. Again, not a criticism at all. To the contrary, you go with what you're comfortable in. We just don't see a whole lot of this anymore with approaches from the plate. I don't think hitting coaches on the professional level teach this very much anymore. Swing and miss. Runner goes. Throw down is low, and a good scoop and tag for the out. Beautifully done by the shortstop Schultz on the throw by Nalesnik to get Tallow for out number 2.
Good quick release from behind the plate by Cole Nalesnik, junior catcher for the Tigers.
Looking back, which is interesting, because you see a guy look back, you're thinking hit and run, but no swing there. And the pitch goes to 2-1. Straight steal, you just put your head down and go, right?
That's usually the case. You can peek as the ball's crossing, potentially just to see what's going on, but don't know if that was a missed sign or just a straight steal all the way. It just got thrown out.
There's speculation on our part. 2-2 the count with 2 outs. Bass, 3-2. Dixon would be next. Bass waiting. Deciding pitch toward third in the hole. Shortstop has to get a long throw from Schultz coming. He has a good arm, and the throw is safe at first. They did not get the tag. Home plate umpire had to make the call. The first base umpire was shielded And the home plate umpire hustling down the line said no tag. We'll see it again, and we'll see whether they call that a hit or an error. That's a tough chance for Schultz. Had to wait on it. It is an infield hit.
Yeah, hits this one deep in the hole. Going to be a tough play, a chopper deep in the hole like that at this level. Schultz got a pretty good throw off. He's got a strong arm over there at shortstop. Home plate umpire Jason Helmstetter making the call that he was safe and missed him on the tag.
There's a ball belted off of the pitcher. Shortstop can't get it. Goes in the left, a base hit. Runners are going to end up at the corners here with 2 outs, and an opportunity here for St. Thomas Aquinas as Dixon shot one off of the pitcher, Toscano, who looks to be okay.
Right back where it came from. Hit this one extremely hard. Deflects towards Schultz. He can't get it. And they're able to go first to third. Runners at the corners with 2 outs.
Visit to the mound. Cass Hard just going out there. Now, it's pretty interesting. It's not Cass, but, of course, one of his assistants. And you look at what happened in this inning, Danny. The caught stealing looms large now.
Absolutely. That was a huge play. St. Thomas Aquinas might have another one on the board if Nalesnik doesn't make a nice play from behind the plate with that good quick release that he has. That's assistant Ryan Comlod,
Yep.
Out there on the mound talking things over, trying to settle down his pitcher in the Holy Cross infield here with 2 outs, telling him, hey, guys, 1 pitch away. Don't read into it too much. Let's get back to business. We're a pitch away. Let's get back in the dugout here.
Ryan does a very fine job on this staff. Lou Wineski, veteran coach on this staff as well, along with Phil White and, of course, Ronnie Cornick, the staple. It's been part of this baseball program for a number of years and does a great job with the lower school at Holy Cross as well.
Looks like he did make it.
It looks like he did make a pitching change.
Did he make a change, or are they letting Toscano throw a little bit?
No, he's still there. It's still Toscano. So
they're just checking him out.
They wanted to make sure he was okay, and he indicated immediately he was fine, but they wanted to make sure, and that's not a bad thing. So took a warm-up toss, said, I'm good, let's go. So runners at the corners, 2 outs, and Alex Egan with a 2-out chance. He struck out swinging in the second. Let's see if they want to run Dixon. They'll play behind him at first. Now they say, no, you better hold him on. And that's what Scheck-Snyder will do in time is called. So Holy Cross not quite certain there, and they finally told Scheck-Snyder, no, you got to hold him on. Trying to keep that second runner from getting into scoring position. And he gets ahead, so Toscano with the most important pitch of all, strike 1. This changes everything, doesn't it?
The 9-hole would go down quickly. 0-2, 1-2 in the count. Might see some kind of trickery out there offensively, maybe a forced ball call or something along with those lines, just trying to see if you can steal a run here with 2 outs.
And it will be interesting to see if they throw through, if they try to run. They and they. The reference. Breaking ball, good pitch, strike called 0-2.
So now he's down quickly. We'll see what.
0-2 is not a pitch you run on typically with the threat of the pitch out, but they might try to do something to create here. 0-2 the count.
Interesting lead.
Yeah, isn't it? Look how far off the bag he is. Behind the bag. 0-2. Up the middle, knocked down by the pitcher. Can he recover? Yes. Can he throw him out? You bet. Toscano held his ground and gets out of the inning. As the threat ends with 2 hits and 2 men stranded, they've left 5 after 4. Still 1-0. The Falcons over the Tigers on WHNO TV 20. Showcase is presented by Park Lakewood Apartments, located on the west bank of St. Charles Parish, a short commute to New Orleans. Park Lakewood Apartments. Good ball game, as we expected. 1-0 St. Thomas Aquinas, heading to the top of the 5th inning. Hunter Stanley, the master of all he surveyed, back to the mound. Chris Collette leads it off, shoots it in the air to right. First pitch swinging, should be handled. Right fielder is on, and putting it away with 2 hands for the out is Becerra for out number 1. So Collette, 1 pitch, 1 out. That was pitch number 62 for Stanley. And with 1 gone, the batter will be Kyle Clayton, who struck out swinging in the second.
Hey, you like for your pitcher to have somewhere right around 15 pitches per inning, and Hunter Stanley's right at that number.
Gassed him, but high, 1-0. And the 1-0. Out of play, 1-1. Only run scored was by the Falcons in the bottom of the second. Right through there with a heater, and it's 1-2. And the 1-2 pitch. And jammed him, and he fouled it back, so a good job by Clayton to fight it off. Don't really have to check the bat when you get jammed with these bats. First thing I think about all the time. 1-2. Turned it over, but just missed. It's 2-2. You can see a little bit of deceleration in that off speed there in that delivery. That's what hitters are looking for.
Comes back with that fastball that he likes to throw so much. Nope, went back to the breaker.
Yeah, a little bit high.
Just high.
So he's full 3-2. Changing the pitching pattern a bit.
That fastball is pretty electric.
It is.
Out of Hunter Stanley.
Payoff pitch. And he got him looking. Fastball. Upper part of the strike zone. Good pitch. Out number 2. And Stanley gets strikeout number 8 as he rolls on.
3-2. Coming at you. Here it is. And might have been a little bit up in the zone, but he gets the call.
10 in a row set down by Stanley. Toscano bats his counterpart. Strike called. 0-1.
It's a really nice arm for St. Thomas Aquinas. I like this Hunter Stanley.
This is a strategic move by Holy Cross here. Nothing but to break up the rhythm. They tried stepping out. They've tried calling time at the plate. Now they go down and have a conversation.
A lot of gamesmanship in the game of baseball, that's for sure. And you're just trying to get him off a little bit, get him out of his comfort zone on the mound.
0-1 is down to equal the count.
You know, pitchers are dangerous, especially guys like this. When they get in the zone and they're doing what they want to do, you got to try to find a way to break that rhythm.
At the knees on the corner, and it's 1-2.
One thing I've picked up, and you mentioned it earlier, it doesn't seem like this young man gets rattled. He's pretty tough up there.
Very focused. And he got him. Fastball overpowering him away. 9 strikeouts and 11 in a row set down by Stanley. Bottom of the 5th coming. 1-0 Falcons on WHNO. Here's a look at the upcoming broadcast schedule brought to you by Park Lakewood Apartments. The Battle of the Green, Slidell, and Shaw on St. Patrick's Day. I mean, it's the
I'm
green.
wearing green that
it's
day.
Running well.
I'm wearing green. Now.
I made up my mind.
Green.
We'll be in green. There's no doubt, and no one can accuse us of being partisan. And then the Battle of St. Charles Parish, the rivalry renewed. Destrehan and Hanville And John Curtis and Brother Martin as the Patriots debut in the Catholic League after winning a state championship in 3A a year ago. And against a very good Brother Martin squad. All forthcoming on the first NBC Bank Prep Showcase. Glad to bring it to you. Top of the order for the Falcons, bottom of the fifth. Reed Bolton leads it off. He's walked, he's grounded out, and took a ball.
Slidell will be in green, Shaw will be in green, and we will be in green on the 17th.
Playing on a green field. 1-0 the count. Here's another. That's in the air. It's going to be caught on the infield by Schexnayder, who puts it away for out number one. Bolton retired on the 55th pitch of the game by Toscano, who's really pitched well. He's kind of been overshadowed by Stanley, but Mickey Toscano's done a very good job.
He's done such a good job. Holy Cross really hasn't had a reason to throw multiple guys in this game. He's got a low pitch count. He's been in full control of things. This is a really good ball game. Obviously 1-0 here in the fifth. So
Kyle King late on that one off the end of the bat, fouls it back. He's singled and he struck out. Single was on a bunt back in the first inning. One of the 4 hits for the Falcons in the game as Toscano gets the sign from the Lesnick. Mickey very focused like his counterpart. Breaker in the dirt, 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. It's 6 hits for St. Thomas Aquinas. So 6 hits spaced by Toscano in the game. He stranded 5 runners, at least 1 in every inning. Breaker down, 2-1. So unlike Stanley, who's retired 11 straight, Toscano's been pitching out of the stretch quite a bit, but he's been tough, in particular when he's had to bear down with runners on base. 2-1 the count. Up, and it's 3-1.
bear down right here. You don't want to put runners on with the way St. Thomas plays.
Ball 4, so runner on with 1 out as King is on for the second time in the ball game, and that is the second walk issued by Mickey Toscano, who will now deal with Champ Artigues, who's popped to second and been hit by a pitch. Double play is in order, and we'll see if St. Thomas Aquinas wants to run, and we'll get another visit to the mound.
Cass Hodges
this
out
time
there.
we get Cass. I was just about to say that. We get the former Southeastern star visiting a mound that he's familiar with, the playing field he's familiar with. You know he's happy to be here tonight. Some words of encouragement. I think basically what he just told Toscano is, look, I'm not hitting, so just throw strikes. I don't think he's that braggadocious. He's really a nice guy. Good guy. Happy to see him have this opportunity at his alma mater.
All-time hits leader here at Southeastern.
Remarkable. And a strike is called. It's 0-1 to Artigues, as mentioned, 0 for 1. As mentioned, Lou Carboni was a tremendous coach for many years at Holy Cross. Greg Battistella the same way, and Godspeed to Batman. He's a great guy. We appreciate all of his help and cooperation over the years. And this is foul tip. That's no balls and 2 strikes, working at Lakeshore now. 0-2 the count. There's Coach Carboni's reign, which lasted 25 years, and Greg Battistella for 10 years. And Greg also served as athletic director for a while, and Cass Hargis in his first year. So just 3 coaches in 35 years. That, my friends, is stability. 0-2 missing in. It's 1-2. And you don't find that in a whole lot of places. 1-2 the count. Thinking of a few other instances of that being the case. Can come up with a couple quickly. 1-2. Fisted. Fair ball. And a good job by Toscano. Showed his athletic ability. He saw an out. He was going to go get it. And he got it for out number 2.
A big out. Anytime you can get that second out, that's a huge out. And Mickey Toscano was taking it upon himself to go make that play. Wasn't leaving it up to anybody else. He was coming to catch that baseball. 2 down.
Hunter Stanley will bat. Struck out in the first, grounded to second in the 3rd inning. And time called. I'm thinking about, I guess, Brother Martin would be a good example. Barry Hebert since the early 80s, followed by Mark Wisniewski. Just two guys over a period of over 30 years now would be another example. Pitch down a ball, 1-0. Toscano waiting and pitching. 2-0. Snap throw to first, and this time the runner's back. Now Lesnick picked one off earlier, you might recall. Got him out of an inning. 2 balls and no strikes on Stanley.
You got to be on your toes with Colton Lesnick back there behind the dish. He'll come get you.
2-0 the count.
Reminds me a couple years back of Cody Ducote catching that brother.
And a balk has been called. So a balk called, and King goes to second. That's a big play in a one-run game. He's in scoring position as a result. No argument from Holy Cross. Toscano needs to refocus because he's got the cleanup hitter at the plate who has 7 driven in and came in at 481. And that's a huge run out there. And Stanley will try to help himself. With the way he's pitching, 2 runs would be a bunch. The 2-0. Breaking ball just missed high, 3-0. Base open, doesn't have to give in, but you got a left-handed swinger in Roberts waiting to hit next. And took it away. So it's 2 on, 2 outs. That's not the worst thing. Here is the balk. Danny, see what you spotted. Called before he stepped off. Anything perceivable there?
Well, like he may have started to move his hands before he stepped back.
There wasn't any argument, so... You're the analyst. You're supposed to tell us what that is,
the umpire immediately turned to the Holy Cross dugout and told them whatever he thought he saw there, so I guess they were okay with it.
I'm having fun with Danny because he's just trying to figure it out. Here's a ball inside, 1-0.
To watch it again.
Yeah. I mean, listen. Sometimes it's obvious, sometimes not so obvious. Sometimes you scratch your head. That one was simply not obvious. 1-0 the count, at least to the naked eye. This is toward left. Should be handled, and there is Collette to put it away. And once again, Toscano bears down to get out of a jam, strands 2 runners. The Falcons have left 7, and after 5, scoreless from Hammond. Sports Medicine Institute, open on both the North and South Shore, Monday through Saturday. Ochsner Sports Medicine, the region's most comprehensive sports medicine services. 1-0 St. Thomas Aquinas on top as we go to the top of the 6th inning. A little entertainment between innings. Danny Ream made his way down to the field, and he decided he wanted to get involved in providing some entertainment since offense wasn't really part of the equation at this point. And we hope to show you exactly what Danny was doing here shortly. That's Hunter Stanley. He wasn't doing what Danny was doing. Here in the 6th inning, it will be Buras to get it started.
I couldn't keep up. I'd pull a hamstring or something trying to do what those young ladies were doing.
If you say so. Strike is called. This is a pinch hitter for Holy Cross. This is going to be number 24, Trace Messina. So the junior Trace Messina is batting for Buras. Here's Messina. 0-1, took a ball. It's 1-1. So our first look at Trace Messina on the year is he's at 429, 3 for 7 with 2 RBI. And took it up. It's 2-1. Cassar just looks to find somebody to get something started here. Strike call, 2-2. And again, you look at what this pitcher has done. He's been absolutely dominating. 11 in a row he's set down. 9 strikeouts to his credit. 2-2. And now he's full 3-2. So Messina's come in and worked a 3-2 count, trying to get on to flip the lineup.
Yeah, whatever it takes right here if you're Trace Messina. Get on base.
And ball 4, he's on. So Messina looks over to the bench and he sprints to first, inspiring his teammates. And the leadoff man is aboard for Holy Cross. Only the second time that's happened in the game, and the bullpen is busy for the Tigers. As Ian Buras, who just came out of the game, was pinch hit for, and that might have been why they pinch hit for him, is now throwing in the pen. And here's Schexnayder in a bunt situation. He struck out twice, showing bunt early, throw to first, runner back. The bunt is obvious here because you got the 2-3 hitters behind him, and they haven't been able to get anything going against Stanley, who just ended his streak of 11 straight that he had retired. See if Schexnayder can execute. You need to here in a 1-run game, and smart on his part, Danny. He calls timeout because right when he stepped in, Stanley was trying to pitch.
Trying to quick pitch him.
And I love to see that again. Does he pause? I mean, that is on the brink if it ever was. 1-0 the count. I mean, he's impossible to run on because A, he has a great move, and B, he quick pitches you. That time he paused, and there's the bunt, and it is a beauty. And the sacrifice works. Well done by Schexnayder. Tying run at second with 1 out from Nalesnik.
That's how you draw it up. Whenever you want to move a man from first to second, talked about it earlier when St. Thomas Aquinas executed that well. You want to try to go up the first base side.
Number 20, Cole Nalesnik.
Make that first baseman come make the play, or at least put it into a position where the pitcher has to come a long way to get to the ball and can't try to get that lead out. The worst thing you can do when you sack bunting is put something back towards the mound and give the pitcher the opportunity to potentially get that lead out.
Baron Morgan, a good head coach, and of course St. Thomas Aquinas infield, gathered as a visit takes place, and you look at their staff. Baron Morgan was a volunteer assistant at Southeastern 2 years ago. Top assistant Cole Catalano was a player at Southeastern from 2005 to 2010 as a pitcher. Holy Cross assistant Philip White was a player at Southeastern from 2006 to 2008. Ronnie Cornick played at Southeastern 1998, 1999. Of course, the Holy Cross assistant coach. And, of course, Cass Hargis has mentioned the outstanding player, hit king in history here, and was a volunteer assistant as well at Southeastern 3 years ago. So the ties that bind to this university are deep, which is why this game being played here makes so much sense. And hopefully they're making a few cents on the game, too. Did you like that?
That's pretty good.
Thank you. Here's Nalesnik.
Tip my cap.
If you were wearing one. 1-0 the count to Nalesnik. And if you were wearing one, it would say NO. Although STL would be fine.
That would be fine.
Yeah, that would be
Have
really
some
good.
of those, too.
I got a bunch of them. 1-0 the count. Ooh, good pass at that ball and foul back by Nalesnik. He was right on it. And it's 1-1. Yeah, we got the old H thing going in the truck. It's all good. As long as it's not a C, right? I mean, should we just go ahead and mail it in, not even play the season, just give the Cubs the World Series trophy? I mean, that's what I'm hearing.
That's what it sounds like.
That's what I'm hearing. They're just, they have the greatest team that ever lived. 1-1 the count. Nobody can compete with them. This is toward the left side and a base hit to left. Runner had the hole to make it go through. So stopping at third on the play is Messina, and he's there with 1 out. Now, some were saying, why wouldn't he have scored on that? Well, you've got to make that ball go through. You cannot make out at the base in front of you in a 1-0 game in the 6th inning. So he let it go through. Now, if you can read it and you're sure it's going through, you take off. But that ball was in a shallow left, so I don't know that he could have scored anyway with King charging.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad base run. And better safe than sorry in this situation when you're down 1-0 in the 6th.
Big opportunity. Runners at the corners, one out of Grant Schultz, who's made the best contact on the team. He's ripped a double to left center in the first, and then flew out to pretty deep right in the third inning as we get a courtesy runner at first base for Holy Cross and Frankie Timpany.
They'll take either one of Grant Schultz's previous 2 at-bats tonight, either the double, which would be ideal if you're a Holy Cross Tiger, but you'll even take that fly ball to center because that would tie the ball game.
Stretch pitch. Schultz took a good hook for a strike. That's respect. He starts him with the hook. As mentioned, he's had the best swings against Stanley. 0-1 the count. This is what you call your game situation in this game, where every pitch matters. Little wheel by the pitcher, Stanley, and very alert, nothing doing. Timpany staying where he needed to stay. Stanley, 0-1. Oh, and it's a safety squeeze and a beautiful bunt, and it is a right on the line, foul ball. You talk about close. That ball stopped just, and I mean just, off the chalk right side. That is as close as it gets. Holy Cross dugout saying, man, wasn't that thing touching the line? You judge for yourself.
Nobody saw that coming out of Grant Schultz with the 2 previous at-bats he's had. That was the only play. That was a really heads-up play by Hunter Stanley, because if you pick that thing up, they're tying the ball game. That was an extremely heads-up play and really the best option.
That could have been a deciding play in this game. 0-2 the pitch, and a fly ball, not deep. Short right center. Runner will tag at third, but he can't come. It's caught by the center fielder, who throws a nice strike to the cutoff man, and 2 outs. A gigantic out obtained by Stanley, as Schultz cannot get the run home, and it's going to take a 2-out hit from Uleisen for Holy Cross. Got it airborne, but he didn't get enough of it.
Yep, needed to get that one a little bit deeper into the outfield. Could not tag on that when the center fielder making that catch had a head of steam coming towards the throw. You would have been out by a mile. So it goes to Mr. Uleisen right here, the second baseman for the Tigers, to see if he can deliver a big 2-out hit. You talk about baseball being a game of inches. Couple of inches on that bunt, and this game's tied.
Big, strong, aggressive hitter struck out in the first, popped to short in the fourth. Runners first and third, 2 outs, and Uleisen took a hook that just missed outside. Stanley misses. He doesn't miss by much, does he? And again, a wheel and nothing happening. Good look at the runner at third, or the runner at first, Timpany. Cena at third. Here it is. In the air to center. Should be handled. Bolton is under it, and he's got it for the out. A big out for Stanley. Out of the jam with no runs and a hit. 2 left for Holy Cross. They've left 4. Bottom of the 6th, 1-0. St. Thomas Aquinas on the first NBC Bank Prep Showcase. Aquinas on top of Holy Cross going to the bottom of the 6th inning. Ken Trahan, Danny Ream. And this pitching change is brought to you by Allstate agent Glenn Liuzza. Allstate, you're in good hands with Allstate. And the new pitcher for Holy Cross, the left-hander, Ian Burris, the junior left-hander, taking over for the Tigers. And Burris comes in a big situation, trying to keep this game where it is. He's 1-0 on the season with a 4.37 earned run average and 2 appearances. Both were starts. So this is his first relief appearances. Danny, only 6 hits in 8 innings, and he's fan 6 as well.
Well, it's a big spot right here because a 1-run game's a whole lot different than a 2 or 3-run game. So if you're Ian Burris, you're in there to keep this one right where it's at 1-0, and give your offense a chance to try to just scratch for a run in the 7th.
First pitch, Burris delivers low for a ball to Anderson. One 0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Ryan Anderson now at 1-1. He's singled and walked. Facing Burris for the first time. The 1-1. 2-1, and big credit due to Mickey Toscano. 5 strong innings. Only 1 run on 6-6, walked 3, struck out 3. Hit a batter through a wild pitch, but for his great work, he could lose, cannot win. And there's a base hit in the right field by Anderson, who's on for the 3rd straight time. His 2nd hit of the game. And St. Thomas Aquinas, led by Anderson, looking for insurance as he's excited.
Nice job there by Ryan of going the other way. You saw him do a nice job of staying on that ball with his front side, hitting it where it's pitched. And that's big to get the leadoff man on here in the bottom of the 6th. If you're St. Thomas Aquinas, you're trying to get another run. If you can get another run on the board, it really changes things in the top of the 7th for Holy Cross.
Bass likely to bunt here. Bass has laid down a sacrifice bunt, a beautiful one back in the 2nd, and he has singled.
He's probably going to be asked to do it again right here.
And that's why Holy Cross makes a move, looking for an indication, as it was a short lead by Anderson.
Yeah, if he can push bunt, it's set up pretty nice for him right here with the left-handed pitcher, second baseman's at double play depth. It's perfect for a push.
And the bunt is on. The pitch is away. Snap throw to first. Swipe tag late.
Well, they've got to know by now that Lesnick likes to come that way, and some of the best chances for a catcher to pick a guy off at first is on a bunt attempt. Always want to be looking as a catcher. If a guy bunts through, if you get that guy caught in no man's land down at first.
A ball and no strikes. And another bunt, and this is toward the pitcher. Denton did enough, though, so the only play is to first. Good stretch to get the out. So a nice job on the stretch by Mickey Toscano, who's playing on the corner now at first base, and that's out number 1. So Toscano playing first. And the sacrifice works. The runner in the scoring position for Dixon.
Good offensive baseball. Gets it down. Not quite so hard to where the pitcher would have the opportunity to go after the lead runner. Had to just go to first and get the out. Got to get an out on the bunt, and Holy Cross able to do it right there.
Good look at Toscano now at first base. Did a really good job on the mound for the Tigers. Michael Dixon has batted twice, singled twice. He's driven in the only run of the game. That was back in the 2nd inning, and he's late on the fastball. Have him slightly to hit to the outfield. Oh, 1. And now even up at a ball and a strike.
Holy Cross infielders have to leave their feet right here. Do whatever you can possibly do to keep a ground ball on the infield dirt. It's a huge run sitting out there for St. Thomas Aquinas if they can take a 1-0 game and turn it into 2-0.
Pickoff move to second, and not happening. Schultz making a move. No problem for the runner. And off the end of the bat, late, 1-2. It is Tallow running at second base as he did earlier. So Brendan Tallow running for Anderson at second. 1-2 the count. Don't get me started on the courtesy runner rules here in high school baseball. I'll only mention it every game. See, too, everybody's got to have their go-to pet peeve, and that's mine. I don't like it, pure and simple. It's not baseball. Even if you had the one guy, if it was one guy, I can halfway understand that, although even that bothers me. But the multiple players that you can run for, you lose me. High, 3-2, snap throw to Lesnick, runner back. Well, he loves to throw. I'm trying to reminisce about somebody who did this, and what comes to mind immediately is Cody DeCody, who did that all the time.
Yep.
He must have thrown behind runners 5 times a game. And speedy recovery to him with the injury he's dealing with at LSU. 3-2, payoff pitch, and ball 4. So 2 on, 1 out for St. Thomas Aquinas. And an opportunity here for Alex Egan, who struck out and grounded to the pitcher.
Not the end of the world, because that puts the double play in order that could possibly end the inning. So you had first base open, so that's not the end of the world. If you're Ian Burrish, you need to settle down and see if you can roll a ground ball here.
And to say that these numbers would be tough to read for the Falcons would be a bit of an understatement. Here's Egan. And the pitch. Over the outside edge for a strike. Burrish delivers to get ahead.
White numbers on the white part of the jersey.
What are you trying to say? 0-1 the count. And another pitch. And just missing for a ball, 1-1.
Thank goodness for the maroon outline, huh? They'd really be in trouble. Huh?
You got that right. Tigers, of course, made the second round of the 5A playoffs last year, beat Rummel, and then lost to Catholic in the second round. And no throw. Holy Cross baseball history. They have 2 state championships to their credit, as they won it in 1944 when Danny was only in grammar school. That was a 2A championship. And then they won it in 1969 when Lenny was in grammar school, when they won the 3A title. This is low, and it gets through the catcher. That's a big play with only 1 out. So got to be a wild pitch because it was down. But the runners to second and third, and that's a huge play in this game.
Huge play. You're going to have to bring the infield in now. Opens things up dramatically. This one gets away. Down in the dirt.
Yeah, it was in the dirt, so it has to be a wild pitch. Couldn't quite close up the 5-hole. Tigers, by the way, were runner-ups in state twice. Back in 1987 when they actually lost to Rummel, their district counterpart, and then in 2012 in 4A most recently under Coach Battistella. 2-1 the count on Egan with runners at second and third, and the infield in, and the pitch, and the safety squeeze, bunted to the screen. It's 2-2. Runner not coming, so that's a read play for the base runner with the third baseman playing in and well off the bag, Danny. That's an easy read for the runner at third, isn't it?
Sure is. And both of these teams have shown the ability to put the squeeze on and try to make something happen.
The reason I say that is it's very, very hard for Clayton to get anywhere back near the bag on a bunt that's missed. So you can take liberties if you're the base runner.
You can follow him, yep.
Absolutely. 2-2 the count. And another from Burris. He's bunting again, and this one is going to be just missing him, and it's full 3-2. There is a base open, but the top of the order and Bolton on deck. So it gets very dicey here. There's no action in the Tiger bullpen. This game is entrusted to Burris now. And now a conversation ensues. And now ready to roll. Been quite an athletic year for St. Thomas Aquinas football team in the state semifinals. Girls basketball in the state semifinals. Ironically coached by the same person, John White, who's also the athletic director. Payoff pitch. Bunt is on. Bunt is toward first. The play is to the plate. He is safe at home. And it's a 2-0 game. Beautifully done. And the first baseman, Toscano, did all he could. But there's the big insurance run. And another runner to third. And still only 1 out.
Execution there. They get the bunt down. Runner reads it down. He takes off for the plate. Brandon Tallow sliding in safely. Home plate umpire Jason Helmstetter with the call.
Well, it's a fielder's choice. RBI on the safety squeeze, and everybody's safe. First and third, 1 out, and now Bolton has a chance to really expand this lead for the Falcons. Bolton is 0 for 3, is reached on a strikeout wild pitch. Runners at the corners, and he's showing safety squeeze. They run, and they will throw through, and it's a bounce throw, but picked up. Stolen base for Egan. Good aggressive baseball by St. Thomas Aquinas. I like it.
They're ready to go. I mean, I really enjoy watching the way that St. Thomas Aquinas plays offensive baseball. I mean, they take it to you. If you take a pitch off, if you try to take a breather, they're going to make it hurt. They are making things happen. Stealing bases, squeezing runs in, getting it done here late.
And the pitch, and a strike delivered. Went to the windup there and got it through there. 1 ball and 1 strike on Bolton.
Might see him squeeze again here. I wouldn't put it past him. That's the kind of baseball that they play. It's an exciting style.
With the infield in, 1-1, second and third base runners lead. Going to swing, missed it. Good breaking ball, 1-2. Very reminiscent of Barb, who's been the best baseball program in this state now, Danny, for many years. Always put pressure on the defense. Infield position well in, on the grass. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Breaking ball into the hands. Tied him up. Struck him out number 2. Now, if Holy Cross can get out of this without anything further, they've still got a shot. But there's a 2-out opportunity for Kyle King, who's singled, walked, and struck out. Pitch. Tap foul behind the plate. You want another Milesism from his press conference a short time ago? I think everyone would realize comfortably we need to execute the passing game a little bit more efficiently. Realize comfortably a little more.
I realize
efficient.
that, and I am comfortable right now. I'm sitting
and you're
down.
efficient too.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm impressed.
Nice press box here at Southeastern. I'm comfortable.
In the dirt, blocked up by Nalesnik, keeps the runners at second and third. It's 1-1. Ball and a strike. Want to thank our friends, Matt Reiser, the head baseball coach here at Southeastern Louisiana. Great guy. Andrew Bishak, a really good guy I've known for a while. And, of course, J.R. Teagues, the athletic director, former head baseball coach. We thank them for allowing us to be here tonight and making our stay very comfortable. Fouled out of play, and it's now 1-2. They were very efficient in allowing us to be comfortable here tonight.
And we realize how nice this park is. This is a treat for these teams to play here.
Touché. 1 ball and 2 strikes, 2 on and 2 outs, and a 2-run lead for St. Thomas Aquinas here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And the 2-2, and now full 3-2. Pat Kennelly Diamond here, 2,500 capacity, 16th best stadium according to StadiumJourney.com. Top 2 in attendance in the Southland in the last 7 years. They love their baseball here, and why not? Because Coach Artigues and Coach Reiser have produced an outstanding product now, which they've sustained for quite some time. This is a hot school. Ever since Katrina, their enrollment has gone up dramatically. Their football program has increased its presence and fared very well. Baseball program, as mentioned, 2-2, 2 on, 2 outs, and just missed the inside edge. Close pitch. Wow. Base open, 3-2. Artigues on deck. Big pitch from Burris coming. King has driven in 3 on the year. He'd like some more. And I don't mean s'mores. 3-2 the count, although that sounds pretty good right now for a guy dieting. Time call. Hey, marshmallow, chocolate, graham crackers. Are you kidding me? Are you hungry yet?
You're making me hungry.
Okay, all right.
I was trying to not think about it, you know. I mean, almost 7:30 now.
Payoff.
It's that time.
Walked him. Bases loaded. 2 outs. And Champ Artigues will have a chance to perhaps break it open as Burris struggled with his command. He's walked 2 in the inning.
Well, your 3-hole hitter is normally your best all-around hitter. Guy that can hit for average, hit with some power, but your best overall hitter. So here you go, bases loaded, 2 outs, a chance to really put this one away more than likely if Champ Artigues can come through.
Bases loaded, 2 outs. Here's Artigues from the stretch. Burris pitches and grounded toward first. Toscano takes the hop, flips to the pitcher covering. Burris is there, and the threat is over. A big insurance run, though, for STA. They do it on a hit, and they strand 2. In the game have left 9. Last chance coming for Holy Cross, trailing 2-0. Purchasing a DVD copy of today's game, send an email to prep@sportsnola.com or call our offices at 504-681-0120 during normal business hours. You will receive a reply with more information on purchasing DVDs. Last chance for the Tigers here in the 7th against Stanley, and Trey Turner starts it. Pops it foul, right side. First baseman coming over. Bass and runs out of room. 0-1. Turner has had an infield hit, and he's popped out to first. They'd love to get his speed aboard and disrupt things. 90th pitch for Stanley just now. He's walked 1. He struck out 9. He's only allowed 3 hits. And he has a shutout going. With a 2-run lead. Turner trying to change that. Misses the breaking ball. 0-2 to Trey.
Well, Turner's a guy that could give Holy Cross the spark they need to try to fight back and score a couple in this inning. But he's got to get on base.
0-2. In the air. Playable. Second baseman wants it. There to make the catch is Egan for out number 1. 2 more to get for Stanley. The batter is Chris Collette. Collette has flied to right. So Collette trying to get aboard. Open stance right side with 1 gone. Stanley to the plate. Popped him up. Playable. And look at Stanley. He says, I want this. Nobody going to grab that sucker but me. I mean, he sprinted over there off of that mound. 2 gone. 1 more to get. Kyle Clayton will bat. He's batted twice. Struck out swinging. Struck out looking. One 1-0 to Collette. And now 2-0. Two-0 pitch. High 3-0. So Clayton trying to start a 2-out rally.
Trying to get something going. You got to get a man on base to at least bring the tying run to the plate.
3-1.
Very important right here for Hunter Stanley to try to shut it down.
3-1, strike 2 called, so he's a strike away from a big win. Full 3-2.
You don't want to put a guy on, then you give him that opportunity to get that tie and run to the plate. You don't want that to happen.
Here it is. Foul back.
Do not want that to happen if you're St. Thomas Aquinas.
Working as quickly as he did when he started this game. 3-2 the count. And another payoff pitch on the way. And strike 3 called. Fittingly, the 10th strikeout of the game for Stanley makes a winner of St. Thomas Aquinas. 2-0 over Holy Cross. Back with our post-game show in a moment here on the first NBC Bank Prep Showcase on WHNO TV 20.